Hi, I'm Extraayogurt and welcome back to another speed build. Today we're going to be building a park, and this lot was interesting. I built it on this hill, and so essentially I had to just carve out the entire hill. Originally I thought I was going to make like a little simple, quaint park, but it kind of turned into like a campground. And so, yeah, I think this is the Oasis Springs or Oasis Valley or something neighborhood template. So if you guys do download this lot and you want to use these lots, it would be best to place them at least in an area that's similar to that area, kind of on a hill. And then that body of water, I like to imagine it as like a big lake. So yeah, it doesn't really look like it, but as we go on, I'll be adding things that really make it feel more like a lake. But yeah, so Lake Breeze Park, and then across from here will be Lake Breeze Cabins. I should be uploading both videos at the same time. So after you watch this, if you want to check that video out and see what I do with that, I like to think of them as kind of like a package deal. So yeah, when I was watching this, I just thought it's so crazy how I started just from like a huge hill. Like, I'm not the most comfortable with modifying the terrain, but this really gave me some good practice. Yeah, so also excuse my voice, I just woke up basically, so So I've said this before, but just in case y'all didn't hear me, I do not play test my lots as of right now. I just want to focus on building the neighborhood before I like move any Sims in. So yeah, I really am extra careful to make sure like your Sims can walk around my lots. Like, there's no big issues there. So I don't play test my lot. So if you do download this and you play it and like your Sims can't get to something, I do apologize. But yeah, I really am extra careful about that stuff. So when I was leveling the terrain and putting the stairs, I made sure like all the stairs connected to, you know, a flat ground or a flat platform. I try to give objects ample space. Something that I'm kind of iffy about are the campfires, because if you've used them, you know that they take up a lot of space, but I'm not sure if that blocks your sim from walking around it. I don't know. Y'all will have to see, but yeah, I thought this build was so much fun. I'm so used to just making buildings, making houses, and I was like, every time I make a park, it comes out horrible. So I was so proud of myself for this. My tip for you guys would be like, use those terrain paints and just mix them all together. It's gonna give you a really nice look. I feel like the terrain paint stole the show for this build, because it just adds so much dimension and changes the whole vibe of the park. I know a lot of people are maybe like, you just find like the grass paint and you just paint the whole lot that one color, which I'm guilty of too. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you mix them together and you just throw in different shades of green and then the pine needles and the dirt, it just adds a lot. It really does. So I loved this concept of having a bunch of different levels of the park. So I don't know, it's just really cool. I've never done something like this. Yeah, and then of course as we go on, you'll see that I added some overhangs. Here I go now. And this one was the one with the grills. And I was like, would you find grills at a campground park? I'm pretty sure. I'm not huge on camping. Maybe y'all are. I think maybe I've gone camping before and seen something like that. I don't know. But y'all tell me. I like to be as close to reality as possible without doing too much. So yeah. I really love this. I just thought it looked very like grand, and like maybe this is not just for camping. Maybe your Sims can come here and throw a birthday party and just hang out for the day. So yeah. I definitely think the fence along there was very necessary. I can just imagine maybe you bring your pets and you don't want them running off into the water or tumbling down that hill. And then I put a little bit of a fence line up top as well, because I don't know, maybe there's like falling rocks or something. Here you can see me trying to use that log game thing. It's just a lot of objects from Bon Voyage that I don't use enough, so I was really trying to make use of them as much as I could. I don't even think I've ever taken my Sims camping before. Yeah. This is why I love building a city. It makes you use things you don't usually use. It's so much fun. Oh, and another thing is that, so obviously you can't, well, it's not obvious, but if y'all didn't know, you can't have hotels in the home, like city, like neighborhood. It's the weirdest thing. It's for vacation destinations only. That's the only way it'll function properly. So the cabins that I made across the street, they're apartments. They're not actually, it's not like a hotel, like your Sims actually have to live there, which is cool too. But just so you guys know, I would have made it a hotel if I could, but that's fine. I think that's totally fine. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the lot, because I just wanted there to be a walkway that was hidden up in the trees, and like you could go up there and like look out at the stars or something. I think it came out really, really nice. I think this build took me like 3.5 hours total, but this was over the span of like 2 days, because I think I was losing creative juice towards the end. But yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys think, because this is just much different for me. I hope you guys love it, and I hope your Sims are able to get around. Right here, I'm doing what I was talking about earlier with mixing the terrain paints. I started with that kind of mossy, wet looking grass, darker grass. Then I put this like kind of light brown dirt over it. And then I put the bright green grass, and I think I added a touch of pine needles around. Yeah. So you might be thinking to yourself, why is there like a campground over here? Like, what, weren't you just building like a regular apartment, and then weren't you just building like a grocery store and a shopping center? Why are you now building a campground? Well, I believe it was my Sim Foods build. If you check that video out, in the beginning I actually did a kind of showed the layout of the city, my plan for the layout of the city. I don't know if it's already not going exactly to plan, but that's kind of like my general idea of how the city's gonna look. So if you want to go back and check that video out, you definitely should. And I'll periodically kind of update the template the more I build stuff. I did say that this area would have apartments and parks, so I'm kind of still going with the theme. And yeah, so this is definitely going to be like the more like nature side of the city because of the lake. I want to kind of work from the lake and work around there and then build it out. Yeah, so I just thought this was so cool to have this little tucked away hidden spot. I kind of wish we could make caves in the game, like have a terrain tool that instead of like pushing the ground down, it could push it inward. think that would be so cool. And then here you see me in the neighborhood view. I end up deleting all of these trees and redoing them after I built the cabins. So, but you get the idea. So this is the kind of wilderness area of the city. Yeah, I was like, I need to get a feel for how this is gonna look when there's neighborhood deco. But I do a much better job after I build the cabins. So highly recommend you guys check that video out if you can. You'll get to see the whole thing in its full form. At the end of this video, I also put a little screenshot of the neighborhood together. So yeah, when it came to landscaping, I've said this before too, like I'm not great at landscaping, but this obviously called for a whole lot of landscaping. So my trick is just to put on the set quarter tile placement on cheat, put on your move objects on, put on your allow 45-degree angle of rotation, true cheat, put it all on and just place your plants freely. Make them overlap, make them like bunch up in certain areas, like spread them out, just put it everywhere. I even added these little rocks, and I feel like that added a lot. So yeah, it just added a little something. I think around here is when I decided to hang it up and start again the next day, because I was like, dang, I have a lot of landscaping I gotta do. Here I am deleting all the trees. Yeah, that was me re-entering in all the cheats. So yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see what this place looks like at night. It is just, it's amazing. It's beautiful. I just kept wowing at it. I was very proud of myself. And so here I go again with these bushes. I like to think like maybe this kind of shrub is really common in the area, and so that's why there's mostly these shrubs. And then I kind of sprinkled those pink flowered shrubs because maybe they're like less common. Not everything I do is for a reason when I'm building, but most of the time I would say like I've already thought through like some kind of reasoning behind it. I love that little spot right there. 2 of your Sims can just go there and chill. I imagine it's really quiet and peaceful. But yeah, the terrain paint brought this to life. You cannot tell me otherwise. The terrain paint made this what it is. That was my this is my table struggle. I was dying for symmetry, but sometimes I just gotta realize everything can't be perfect. So I just kind of made it purposely imperfect. You know, a few missing chairs or whatever. This build just made me so happy. Like, I was so excited. The more items I added, the more it was coming together, especially the chairs and the tents. This build was so much fun. And this is not something I usually do. It's not something I usually enjoy. There I go again with the shrubs. Just shrubs everywhere. It's when I'm doing stuff like this, like scooching items really close together, that I kind of worry, like, if your Sims will be able to use them for real. And then you guys also saw me place the campfires and how many squares that they take up. So we'll have to see. Y'all will have to let me know. I promise, I will play test these lots once the city's finished, and then from there on out, I want to make sure I play test my lots, so no one has any issues with them. Yeah, your Sims can sit around the campfire, roast marshmallows, and tell stories. I didn't put a bathroom because I was like, well, you're in the wilderness, just go in the woods. I'm also excited to see like Sims fishing in the pond. I think that's going to be really cool. That's one of my favorite features of the game. All Sims games in general is just fishing. It's really, really cool. And if you have a poor Sim, it's very lucrative. So you can just fish all day. Once again, up here, I really wanted some symmetry, but it wasn't possible. I put this little... I love how there's like a couple spots where it's just one tent and it's kind of tucked away. You know, not everyone is coming to camp in a big group, so... Excuse me, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about my voice. I tried to hang some lights here, but I think ultimately I decided no, that looks funky. It looks too perfect. Putting the lights under those tables, that's another trick I really like to use. It illuminates the space without the need for taking up more space. So these fence lights really came through on this whole build. Like, look, it just, the ambiance is unreal. And realistically, you know, if you're going camping somewhere, it would not be this nicely illuminated, but in my game it is. For the sake of playability. And here we are. Let's get into the cinematics. I will leave y'all alone and be back after this. hopefully you guys enjoyed that. As you could see, the cabins across the street were fully built, and then I re-added the neighborhood deco so that these pictures and the cinematic shots would come out really, really nice. Once again, I should be uploading both the cabins and the park video at the same time, so you can watch both. Yeah, I love it. It's very serene. It feels like it just looks really good. I really like it. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this build. I love feedback. I love to know what y'all think. I love to know, like, if you put it in your game, how did your Sims like it? Did it work? Were there issues or anything? Yeah, feedback is definitely appreciated. So I had a lot of fun taking the screenshots. Every time after I build something, I love just getting in there and like imagining that I'm a Sim walking around this area. Yeah, it looks really nice. It blends really well into the landscape. I actually used the huge lot. I'm pretty sure I used the very biggest lot. If you saw at the beginning, I'm like, wow, and my game's not lagging. That's amazing. I must have a pretty good computer. So yeah, I had used foundation instead of walls for the overhang up top there, because I wanted it to be extra tall, extra grand. You can see in the back I put some signs that look like park signs to me in the neighborhood deco. And yeah, I could not get enough of this. Can you tell by how many screenshots I took? But as we close out here, I just want to say thank you so much for all the feedback. Thank you for the subs. If you're not subscribed, definitely consider subscribing. This really is just so much fun for me. I love editing the videos, making the lots. Everything is really, really fun. You can find me on Tumblr, on Mod the Sims, and on Twitch. I think I've only streamed like a few times, but maybe in the future it might be more of a thing. My handle on everything is Extraayogurt with 2 A's, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave the video here. Thank you so much for watching, and please tune in and watch the Lake Breeze Cabins video as well. Thank you. Bye.